Have you ever wondered about the figures in gleaming armor, wielding razor-sharp swords, who shaped the destiny of Japan for nearly 1,000 years? They are the samurai, an elite warrior class whose legacy of honor, discipline, and martial prowess still captivates us today. But who were they really? Beyond the myths and legends, join me as we journey back in time to uncover the dramatic rise and fall of the samurai, explore the secrets of their warrior code, and reveal the untold stories of Japan's most legendary fighters. This is the epic tale of the samurai. Our story begins in the Heian period. Around the 8th century, Japan's central government in Kyoto was weakening, and powerful landowners in the provinces needed protection. To defend their lands and influence, they started hiring skilled warriors, or samurai, which means those who serve. These early warriors were primarily mounted archers, their skills on horseback being paramount. They weren't yet the sword-wielding icons we imagine, but they were the seeds from which the mighty samurai class would grow, as clans like the Taira and Minamoto battled for supremacy. These warriors became indispensable, their loyalty and combat skills determining the fate of the nation. By the late 12th century, these warrior clans had become so powerful that they eclipsed the emperor himself. The Genpei War, a brutal 5-year conflict, ended with Minamoto no Yoritomo establishing the first shogunate in Kamakura. This marked a pivotal moment. The samurai were no longer just hired guards. They were the new ruling class of Japan. The shogun, as the military dictator, held the real power, while the emperor became a revered but largely symbolic figure. For the next 700 years, Japan would be governed by warriors. This era saw the refinement of samurai culture, the forging of their identity, and the birth of a code that would define them for centuries to come. At the heart of the samurai identity was a strict ethical code known as Bushido, or the Way of the Warrior. While it wasn't formally written down until much later, its principles guided every aspect of a samurai's life. Bushido emphasized 7 key virtues: righteousness, courage, compassion, respect, integrity, honor, and loyalty. Above all, loyalty to one's lord, or daimyo, was absolute. A samurai was expected to serve his master without question, even if it meant sacrificing his own life. Honor was so important that a samurai who failed in his duty or brought shame upon himself might perform seppuku, a ritual suicide, to restore his honor in death. This unwavering discipline was forged through years of rigorous training, not just in swordsmanship and archery, but also in literature, poetry, and Zen Buddhism, which helped them cultivate a calm, focused mind in the face of chaos and death. The iconic weapon of the samurai, the katana, was more than just a sword. It was considered the soul of the warrior, forged with a complex process of folding steel thousands of times. The katana was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, possessing a hard, incredibly sharp edge, while maintaining a flexible spine to prevent it from breaking. A samurai carried 2 swords, the long katana and a shorter companion sword called the wakizashi. This pair, known as the daisho, was a symbol of their status and privilege. Swordsmanship, or kanjitsu, was a high art form, with numerous schools teaching different techniques. A duel between master swordsmen was not just a clash of steel, but a spiritual and psychological battle, often decided in a single, perfect strike. The Sengoku period, or the Age of Warring States, from the mid-15th to the early 17th century, was the golden age of the samurai in terms of warfare. Japan was fractured into dozens of domains, each ruled by a powerful daimyo, constantly vying for more territory. It was a time of epic battles, cunning strategies, and legendary warriors who carved their names into history. Figures like Oda Nobunaga, a brilliant but ruthless unifier; Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a peasant who rose to become the ruler of all Japan; and Tokugawa Ieyasu, the patient strategists who would ultimately end the chaos and establish a lasting peace. These men and their armies of samurai fought in legendary battles, like the Battle of Okeyazama and the decisive Battle of Sekigahara, which finally unified Japan under the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603. With the establishment of the Tokugawa shogunate, Japan entered a period of over 250 years of peace and stability, known as the Edo period. For the samurai, this was a profound and challenging transformation. The constant warfare that had defined their existence was gone. So what does a warrior do when there are no more wars to fight? Many samurai struggle to adapt. They transition from being battlefield commanders to becoming bureaucrats, administrators, and scholars. Their martial skills were still practiced and revered, but more as a form of personal discipline than a practical necessity. This era of peace led to a flourishing of culture, and many samurai contributed to art, philosophy, and literature. However, it also led to a gradual decline in their martial prominence. They were a warrior class in a world without war. The end of the samurai came swiftly and unexpectedly. In 1853, American Commodore Matthew Perry arrived in Japan with a fleet of technologically superior warships, known as the Black Ships. He demanded that Japan open its borders to foreign trade, ending over 2 centuries of self-imposed isolation. This event triggered immense political turmoil. The shogunate's inability to repel the foreigners was seen as a sign of weakness, leading to a surge of anti-government sentiment. A civil war erupted, culminating in the Meiji Restoration of 1868. The young Emperor Meiji was restored to power, and a new government was formed with the goal of rapidly modernizing Japan to compete with the West. The new Meiji government saw the samurai class and the feudal system they represented as an obstacle to progress. In a series of radical reforms, they stripped the samurai of their privileges. Their right to carry swords in public was abolished. Their stipends were converted into government bonds, and a modern conscript army, open to all social classes, was established. The samurai, the ruling class for 700 years, were suddenly obsolete. Some resisted, like Sago Takamori in the Satsuma Rebellion of 1877, the last stand of the samurai. But their swords and traditional tactics were no match for the modern rifles and cannons of the imperial army. The rebellion was crushed, and with it, the era of the samurai officially came to an end. But did the samurai truly disappear? While the class itself was abolished, their spirit and ideals endured. The principles of Bushido discipline, loyalty, honor, and a commitment to self-improvement were absorbed into the very fabric of modern Japanese culture. This ethos influenced the development of Japanese business, education, and even the modern martial arts like Kendo and Judo. The samurai's dedication to mastering their craft and their unwavering sense of duty became guiding principles for a nation, striving to find its place in the modern world. Their stories, from the Honorable 47 Ronin to the legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi, continue to inspire and fascinate people globally. The samurai legacy is a powerful reminder that true strength isn't just about wielding a sword, but about the discipline of the mind and the integrity of the heart. From provincial protectors to the rulers of a nation, and finally, to enduring cultural icons. The journey of the samurai is a timeless epic of honor, change, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Their armor may now rest in museums, but the way of the warrior continues to echo through the ages. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey. If you found the story of the samurai as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most compelling stories. Let me know in the comments which legendary samurai you'd like to hear about next. Until then, stay curious.